Hi, good morning. Just a week until Christmas, and it's perfectly sunny and gorgeous outside, so you wouldn't know that. And today I am, of course, the Gabb doing our Friday show, and I have the pleasure of being with a very old, not in age, good friend, Jeff Osaka. Jeff, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Gabby. Thanks for having me on today.
We've been around a long time. Yeah, tell us, well, you want first tell us about you. Just your
Well, of course, Gabby introduced me. Jeff Osaka. I currently have. Well, we maybe we'll go back a little. I first opened a little restaurant in the ballpark neighborhood in 2008, 12 restaurants, and that kind of got my foot into the Denver dining scene, and it got local acclaim, for the food, for the service, for our beverage program, and I was really thankful for everything that had brought me to Denver. Originally from LA.
I've explained just a little that 12 was a very sophisticated, upscale, unique restaurant at that time. And
Correct.
It was incredible.
Yeah, correct. It was called 12 because we change our menu once a month, entire menu once a month, or 12 times a year. And at that time, I was the only business that far north on Larimer that was open past 6 o'clock. There was Snooze that opened the prior year, but they were a breakfast joint. And then it wasn't until probably a couple years later that where my new home is, the Rhino Arts District, started to develop, and now is a booming neighborhood.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, and that's just a couple blocks north of me. It used to be mostly commercial warehouses. Not a lot of people even walked around that area, but now you can't find parking down there.
There is.
Yeah, so that was my, after I closed at 12. That was actually on my 50th birthday, August 23rd, 2014, with the plans of opening in the Rhino neighborhood, just north of there. And that was the first restaurant I opened in that area was Osaka Ramen. And that kind of just,
and it was unique too.
Correct, especially at that time when there were a couple ramen shops popping up. There was Bones, Frank Bonanno, another great restaurateur. Tommy Lee opened Uncle, and then I followed with Osaka Ramen. I mean, we were all in different locations, so it was like healthy competition for all of us. We all had our own different style, and
they were very different. Yes.
Yeah. And then, I think we did our thing. We were a little more traditional, a lot of food that I grew up eating. Some of my mother's recipes, which, I could eat there almost every day just because of that. Yeah. So that kind of was a springboard to all the other restaurants I started opening up. Sushi Ramen on the next block off of Larimer. Then we opened gave our shot at Cherry Creek Osaka Ramen, and gave it a go for about a year there. There's a great little Chinese restaurant in the space that we occupied. And then almost every year after, I started opening Sushi Ramas, which is a conveyor belt sushi concept. We started the first one in the Rhino Arts District, the second one in DTC, the Denver Tech Center. Lone Tree followed soon after that, and then Fitzsimmons right near the Anschutz Medical Campus. And then currently we're under construction for one more in Broomfield, right by the First Bank Center.
Oh wow!
So hopefully, probably by March or so, we'll have that one up and going.
Okay, this is all the plates. I've been there, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
Where you pick what you want. But
Yeah.
is there an issue, or did they stop you at all with COVID to change the style of that?
No, because our plates are all covered, so
Right.
there's no cross contamination whatsoever. And then on the bottom we have they're all chipped, so we know how long each plate has been on the belt.
Oh, good.
So it circulates around. We give a time limit of about 90 minutes on the belt. The health department allows 4 hours to have sushi. That's a long time to have sushi on the belt, but
Yeah.
yeah. But we try to modify that. We go way under the limit, because we want people to have a great experience and have fresh sushi.
Well, that's part of why you go to eat sushi.
Yeah, correct. So that's been a kind of a
But now,
successful
at
franchise for us.
Osaka Ramen, you make the ramen bowls.
Correct.
Now, do you do that at Sushi Ramen?
We just combined concepts late last year, with with COVID. I hate to mention
It's still here. Come on.
Yeah, the big
Put it where it's
C
at.
word, but everybody found a way to pivot.
Right.
That was the big buzzword last year. So we combined concepts last winter, and we probably have about 75 to 80% of Osaka's menu at each of the Sushi Ramen locations. So, and the perfect timing for the winter, a hot bowl of noodles,
Oh, it's so
and you grab a couple of plates of sushi, and it's perfect. And
you can do that at all with the conveyor belt as well.
with every location except for our Rhino location, because Osaka Ramen's on the next block. So
Right.
So we didn't want to muddy the waters there. But at all our other 3 locations, you can get a bowl of ramen. Our I like to say our world famous fried chicken, but that's self-proclaimed.
Well, is that what's on the sandwich that you designed for open?
Correct. That is the
that's
same.
the only one I get. It's fabulous.
Yeah. It is pretty delicious. Once in a while, we'll run that as a special at Osaka Ramen. It's pretty good. I actually just made.
It's okay. It's pretty good, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty delicious. But and then I've had other restaurants along the way. Kind of a 12 2.0 that I did in Congress Park, called 12 at Madison.
I missed that every day.
Yeah, that ran from 2016 to just last year. We shut it down. It was a little too small to survive the wave last year.
What do I have to do to get a plate of the rolls?
No, those were delicious. Yeah. Well, you name it. I'll get you a 6-pack easily. So.
They're so good.
Those Parker House rolls. Yeah, they're to die for.
I mean, it's silly to talk. It was a wonderful. It should never. I'm so sorry you closed it.
Yeah.
Selfishly, but it was too small.
Yeah, it was tough. A neighborhood restaurant, and it was small. So.
I think we all cried a lot of tears.
Yeah. It was very bittersweet for sure to close that. So.
I believe that. And then what about the Empire Restaurant?
Yeah, the Empire Lounge and Restaurant up in Louisville. A great and talented chef, Jim Cohen, had passed last year, and he sustained a stroke a few years ago, and he wasn't really able to maintain the restaurant. So, I was very fortunate to and honored to take over his legacy of this. It's a pretty big restaurant. Talking about going from small 12 at Madison. This is probably almost 3 times the size of 12 at Madison, and it's a great just neighborhood restaurant that's been around for 14 years. it was a restaurant called Kolachi's for like 50 years before that.
That was before, yeah.
Yeah, that was before my time in Colorado. But Louisville is just, it's like a little small town that you can just plop in the middle of the country. It has a main street, shops and retail, the city halls on Main Street. It's a very quaint town, and it's only about maybe 20-30 minutes from Denver. Um, and I just probably 10 minutes from Boulder. So
Tell me some of the menu there.
it's very just home style, steak and French fries and a roast chicken. Very good salads. We kept a couple of the favorites from Jim's time. We're doing his like spaghetti and meatballs. He has an awesome meatball recipe. His calamari salad that you can't take off, or the town would rage with pitchforks and torches if we took that off. It's a delicious salad. And then we opened for lunch as well last year.
Oh,
or
wow.
the year before. So you can come eat all day. It used to be mostly focused on a dinner house, a dinner restaurant.
Well, now places are closing more for lunch, but if it's on Main Street, are the rolls there?
Huh? What's that?
Do the rolls there?
We do not do the rolls there, but it's something to think about. We should maybe bring those on. Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
And the town of Louisville has been very supportive.
It's a great little town
and very active. They had the Christmas parade just a couple of weeks ago. They helped block off Main Street last summer so we can have dining outdoors, extended dining outdoors. So they're really trying to support the local businesses in town. So
are you open? What days and nights are you open in
we're open every day except for Wednesday. We're closed on Wednesdays
at Empire Lounge. Oh, okay.
So
my kids live in Lafayette.
Oh, okay, not too far.
Right.
So, and we do a modified brunch menu on the weekends, on Saturday and Sunday. Just maybe a half a dozen items for brunch.
Do you spend much time there?
I'm usually there maybe once a week, sometimes twice a week. Yeah. I'm spread a little thin these days. So
well, how is it? Just not talking about your restaurants for a moment, but I am talking about your restaurants.
Yeah.
How is it with the C word crisis?
Yeah.
Getting staff, cooks, things like that. I mean, everybody's complains.
Oh, sure. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why I think there's a shortage. A lot of people blamed it on unemployment, but I think that was only a fraction of it. There's childcare. A lot of single mothers. They had to figure something out pretty quickly. A lot of people using their degree. We have a lot of well-educated staff working for us, with one or even I have one with multiple degrees, and they're finally taking use of that. Or I have some, a lot of younger staff, so they're in school or they're going back to school full time. So that's a part of it as well. So it's a lot of things. The COVID has taught us, to reevaluate our lives a lot.
Well, I don't think the world will go back to what it was. I mean, I wish some of it did.
Yeah.
But I think we live in a new era.
Sure.
That we're going to change.
Sure. Yeah. And with that, we've learned, with the shortage of staff, we've learned to work a little more efficiently. So it forced us to work a little bit harder with less people. And, we're not to a point where people are getting burnt out. I think there's still a quality or a balance the work-life aspect. So I think we're doing pretty good right now. I mean, we can always use a few extra people. We're always hiring. There's a lot of opportunities, especially with a new store coming around the bend, but we'll probably need a couple dozen people for there. So there's always opportunity. That's the great thing. There's always opportunity in the restaurant business. There's room for growth. You can travel all over the world and find something in the restaurant business. Find a job. Yeah.
That's our life. So
yeah,
it's hard to say. I don't understand anything else, but that's okay.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Anything different or special? Holidays? When are you open?
We are. I like to, going back to that work-life balance. I do like to close a few days during the holidays just to give my staff some time off.
Right.
Or most of our, except for the Empire, we're all closed New Year's. Christmas Eve. We're closed all day Christmas Day, and then because it lands on a weekend, on Sunday we won't open all our stores till dinner that evening. So it gives people almost 3 days, like 2.5, almost 3 days off together. And then we'll close New Year's Day, and then same thing on that Sunday we'll open for dinner only.
Is this every place, or is what do you do at Empire?
The Empire is the only restaurant we're open for Christmas Eve, because we're doing Christmas Eve. We're doing little packages to go. We're doing a prime rib dinner or a turkey dinner
to go. Not to eat there.
Not to eat there, to go. So it was very popular for Thanksgiving. The turkey dinners to go, and then so we extended it and added prime rib option for Christmas Eve. And we've so far, I think I saw the sales already for the last few days, and people are we've got a few takers on our prime rib dinner.
Well, it's a little hard for me to pick up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would be perfect.
Yeah, it's for people that just want to stay home and enjoy and not go out. And
right. Yeah. So you're closed Christmas Day, obviously.
We are closed Christmas Day at the Empire. And
what about New Year's Eve and New Year's Day?
New Year's Eve, we're open everywhere. And then New Year's Day, we're closed everywhere. And then on that Sunday, we're just dinner only at all the restaurants.
Okay.
And then that Monday, we go back to normal schedule.
Right. Well, I just want people to know. Do you do like wine dinners and things at Empire, or is it
we haven't. It's really, we've done a couple bourbon dinners that were very popular. Wine dinners not so much. Like I said, it's a restaurant that's been around for 14 years, and we just have a lot of locals that come sit at the bar and grab snacks. We have some people that we see 2-3 times a week. The former mayor and his wife come, quite frequently. A lot of people on the city council, a lot of local business owners, they'll come dine with us.
At Louisville.
At Louisville, at the Empire, correct. Okay. Yeah. So it's a great, like I said, it's a great little community,
and everything else on the conveyor belts and what have you. Mm-hmm. There's ramen, and there's all sorts of different little appetizer type things. So
those are the things that you can order from the kitchen. Obviously, a bowl of ramen on the conveyor belt maybe a little OSHA violation there, but
exactly. No, I'm saying, give us a couple of examples before we're out of time of what you have on the.
Oh yeah, I mean I think we're up to about 35 different rolls that we offer, plus nigiri, just the sushi on rice that we offer on the belt, and then we have probably a couple dozen items from the Osaka ramen menu that you can order from the kitchen, and then some sushi bar staples like gyoza or edamame, some things like that you can snack on when you pick sushi. But the great thing, people don't realize, the great thing about the conveyor belt sushi, I claim we're the fastest restaurants in town, because you can, even if you go to a buffet, you sit down, you get your
Down Brothers
drinks,
days.
and you go up, and you still have to go get your food, but this is right in front of you. Right when you sit down, you can start pulling plates off the belt. You know, I've had people, not, I don't think they were trying to break records, but I've had people come and dine within like 7-8 minutes. You know,
Oh,
the quick
gosh.
lunch,
Oh,
you know,
well,
they're pulling
yeah,
themselves away from, yeah, they'll have a few plates, you know, maybe a drink, maybe an iced tea or something, and they're out back to work. You know,
good for them.
it's kind of the better option than sitting at your desk and brown bagging it. So
Anytime. Thank you very much.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
well, before we go, I mean, your restaurants are a delight. Tell us the locations of all of them and then how they can get in touch.
Let's see. We can start with Sushi Ramen. It's
Right.
sushi-rama.com. And then we have 4 locations, one in the Rhino Arch District, which is just north of downtown. DTC, which is off of Bellevue. Lone Tree, which is Lone Tree Commons. There's a Sprouts and a Target in that area. There's our Fitzsimmons location. We're directly across from the VA hospital off of Colfax.
Oh, that's a great location.
Yeah, yeah. So we're in we're in the ground floor of an apartment complex.
You're on DIA.
We are in DIA in the Denver Central Market. We have a little grab and go case there. We don't have a conveyor belt, unfortunately, because of
That
the
would
space.
sort of be hard.
Yes, well, space constraints, you know, because there's 4 concepts under one location, so
Oh,
that's all right. And then soon in next year, early next year, we're opening in Broomfield, right by the First Bank Center. There's a great another restaurant near us, Hickory and Ash, you know, Kevin Taylor's restaurant.
I know exactly.
Yeah,
My kids live near there too.
Okay, yeah, his son Ryan Taylor is doing an awesome job with that restaurant. And then we have the Empire Lounge and Restaurant in Louisville, right on Main Street.
Okay, and that one's open every day but Wednesday.
But Wednesday's correct.
Okay, and Osaka Ramen.
Osaka Ramen's open every day as well. So just a quick run. It's easiest with websites just to look up the information. So it's sushi-rama.com. It's OsakaRamenDenver.com and the EmpireRestaurant.com. So yeah, well, that's a lot to remember.
That's okay. They'll remember it.
Yeah.
And they'll find it after hearing about them.
Yeah.
It makes me very hungry right now.
I'm starving.
Yeah. What could I say in this early morning? But you are an absolute delight. And to everybody who is watching, please like and subscribe to the Gabb on YouTube. And you'll find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. After we say goodbye here, I will get it up and you can see all the wonderful things that I have just heard and seen. And I'm so hungry. But happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Thank you. And to you, love you much. Miss you at 12th and Madison.
Yeah.
But love everything else you're doing. Thank you.
Love you too. Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.